this to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints. The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
家は沈んでいったとかそんな感じかな。なんか今バグってたんだけど。
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
あ、ここの鍵じゃなかったと。
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
バーバラ
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
なんか夜にあったっぽいな。
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
ああ、なんか兄が行方不明になったってことか、これ。主人公はなんだろう、その手がかりを探しに来てるのかな。
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
2階上がってみるか。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
ほうほうほうほうほう。多分イーデっていうのは主人公なのかな。
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
カルヴィンっていうのがあったな。兄っぽいな。
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
これはトイレかなんかかな。
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
ほうほうほうほうほう。 Barbara.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
アメリカスターが飽きるまで。
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
オーディンっていうイーティンが多分お父さんかな。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
この部屋で小さい頃よう遊んで
Louis
いた
told
と。
me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
だけど主人公はそれを信じてなかった。あ、母親から託された鍵が開いた。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
隠し扉になって開いたんだ。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
私には計画があったかもしれないように思える。あ、こ
But
こ
I
開け
had
れ
no
そう。
idea what was behind that door.
開いた。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
なんかオーディ ETA わかんない。あ、なんか本置いてある。日記
December
か。
13th, 1947.
これ主人公の日記かな。
I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
過去に戻ってるとかそんな
The
感じ。
gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
主人公はネズミの餌食ったよ。
come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
遅いから寝ろと。どっか喋れる場所ないかな。あ、なんかあるな。トイレか。
I ate a lot of things that night.
なんか作り物っぽいけど。本物かなあれは。
I kept eating and eating.
いや、それは食べたらダメでしょ。それは食べたらダメでしょ。死ぬよ、主人公。
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
どういうこと？
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Jump ジャンプ力すごいな、この猫。絶対ここまで飛ばんだよね。
And I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
落ちたけ
And
ど、落ちたけ
suddenly,
ど。
I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
え？
Rabbits.
で、今ダメついた？あ、捕まえた。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
どこだ？操作むずっ。そうか。
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
なぜ？どうしようとこれ。こっちでいいのか？下に落ちていいのかこれは。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. juicy seeds. I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Yeah! つい人食っちゃって。
I wanted to stop it, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
あれこれ渡そうだったよな。
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Yeah, totally tell it.
I got closer and closer.
奥行けばいいのかなこれ。どこ行けばいいんだこれは。
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
美味しいって反応したところ、ここから戻ってきた。
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
1個目クリアって感じか。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
ああ、E.T. っていうのはひば
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Hmm. なんかすれば変わんのかなこれ。知って思うだけだしな。
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
何ここも開けれんの？一緒の鍵で。一緒の鍵かよ、最初のやつと。開けようと。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
そこ開くんかい。
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
サムって誰だろう。四つん這いだったのかちょっと。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
このチャプタークリアしたら一旦終わるかな。左足骨折してる。
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
あれが今のサムライとしては俺は誰なんや。
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
嫌な顔するの俺だけ。
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
The
day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
バーバラ抜かした俺。あれバーバラどこ行ったまあいいや。
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
ああ、あのブランコのやつやっぱりなくなったんだ。
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
わからんな。置いた。下げると猫の隠し扉。
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
ここで隠し扉開けとく。お、これは誰の部屋だ。
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a
バー
child
バラ
star.
か。バーバラの部屋か、これは多分。あ、バーバラの部屋だな。あったな、そういえば。こんな壁。
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
バーバラも死んだのか。
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned.
It's
So
very close in
Barbara
the
went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
絶対これ殺されてるやつや。
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
あ、テーブルギロチンってこれか。よかれ。
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious.
それは
All I'm getting from
怒
you
るわ
now
な。
is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
これ絶対リック死んだやつ
She
や。
threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
骸骨が吊るされていってるのに嫌やから見てるぞ。
Police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Well done.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. Moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
At
the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Bravo! You were wonderful! The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. And she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic was, maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
これあれか、オルゴールのところ行けるようになったのか。暗くないってか。気のせい、最初からこんな暗かったっけ。だからこれだね。近かったあれだよ。リックが驚かせに来てた場所か。外風すごいな。
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
これあれか、お父さんがわからないけど、なんか
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
こっちか。ここの段ボールだ。ここだっ
I
たよ
thought
ね。
maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
やべえ、暗くて何もわかんない。
She said after Barbara
What's going
died,
on?
he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
あ、ウォルターだ。
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
来る来る来る来る。あ、開いた。
Having a schedule, living for today.
中身何これ。
I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
桃かなあれ。
But if
あ、
you wait
変
long
わっ
enough,
た。
you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
桃っぽいな。
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
これ多分怪物の話してんな。これって
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
怪物たちの襲撃から30年経ったと。そういうことでいいのかな。
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly Calvin.
あ、カルビンも死んでんだ。
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left.
トンネルつながったから外に出ようとしてるのか。
Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
で、何かあったんだな、外って。
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
あ、自分がこれ一番上のやつか。で、家族が謎の死を遂げたから、
I'm sure my
帰
mom
っ
was
てき
trying
て
to
探し
protect
てるっ
me.
て感じか。 おい、このゲームバッドエンドで終わる気がするんだよな。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else.
だからあれか、死の
But
原
now I'm
因を
worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
ウォルターの墓。こっちでいいのかな。
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
絶対そこなんかあるでしょ。なんもなかった。
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
あいたー。次ここ行くのかな。 どうなんだろう。登れるとかいうわけでもない。こっちはそれは違うと。あ、ここに扉あんじゃん。気づかんか
I
った。
think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've
what's
just
that
gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
家は建ててる最中だったのか。じゃあまだ。どこ行くんだこれ。これどこ行くんだ。次こっちか。
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Mm. 誰や。フィンチかなんかそんな感じ。
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
てかこれどっかにあれあるな。本あるかと思ったけど。
She could see it
次
poking
だな
out
こ
of
れ。
the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
ほう。あれ古い家なのか。
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
開くこれ。開かない。なんか置いてあんな。取れ
Her
る。
dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
取れない。
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
また階段
There's
か。
so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
で、はしごを登る感じかな。
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant. I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Oh. サムだ。ホラーじゃねえかよ。
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
どこにいるんだ。
I'm over here, Dad.
Just need to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can hit the road.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
What?
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what?
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
何を取ればいいんだこれ。
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Nothing quite like being outside.
なんかここに死体があるんだけど。
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess.
どうすればいいんだこれは。 どうやったクリアなんだこれ。あー眠い。全く意味わからん。
Hold still while I take it.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo. Give me a minute to check the map. Was it? Could have been.
わかんねえ。 ちょっとどうしようかな。積んだっぽいんだよな。あ、続きまた明日にして今日終わるこれ。だね、今日終わろう。じゃあまた次回かな。ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録やフォロー、Twitter のフォローよろしくお願いします。では。